What's going on, everybody out there? It's your boy Mike Knoxxx, and this is my Around the Blocks with Mike Knoxxx Elimination Chamber review. What's going on this morning? And quite frankly, it's a lot of things going on this morning. Most importantly, we are on the road to WrestleMania. This road right now to WrestleMania is leading us where? That's what I need to know. That's what I want to know. Where are we going right now with this whole entire thing? Where is WrestleMania going? We're going to find out. And I think for what it's worth, we got fast track there last night. I mean, simply, was it the greatest pay-per-view in the world? No, it was not. But what it was is that it gave you answers to questions. So I'm going to start from the beginning, and that's where things start at, in the beginning. And that includes the kickoff program, right? The kickoff show. Things that we typically don't watch, but some may have watched as we go around the blocks with Mike Knoxxx. And what did the kickoff show give you? What did the kickoff show tell you? For me, it told me one thing and one thing only, that the night belonged to women and Braun Strowman. I had the hashtag going, Strowman, not Roman. But my son, on the flip side, said Roman, not Strowman. But hey, what does he know? He's just my 10-year-old kid I've raised since he was born to love wrestling. Hey, so I can't be mad at that either. But I tell you this much. Overall, the night, like I said, belonged to the women. Alexa Bliss inside the chamber. Talk about that momentarily and my thoughts about that. Ronda Rousey. I'm going to talk about her because I am one of the ones who wanted her to be fast-tracked to WrestleMania. I don't care what kind of match Ronda Rousey is in. I'm okay with that. I don't think you should care about that. If you're a wrestling fan, you should care for two reasons. Because the WWE, especially during WrestleMania, has always done two things, or tried to anyway, do two things. And that is, one, cater to diehard wrestling fans like myself and most of you guys out there listening, and then other genre of people and entertainment they try to cover, and that is entertain. And Ronda Rousey brings in that kind of number. I thought it was pretty cool. We're going to get that in a moment. You're trying to kick me, but not just quite yet. Again, the kickoff show, I feel bad, for Hugo, best wrestler in the business in his mind, not counting AJ Styles, of course, and that's Carl Anderson. What are we going to do with Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows? They actually referred to them last night as two members of the Balor Club. If you're going to have a club, if you're going to have a faction, then do something with the faction. And yes, them taking on the Miztourage, it felt like it was one group of jobbers taking on another group of jobbers. And I explained to my son last night what exactly was a superstar. And he went through things and asking me questions about, Dad, what's a superstar? Is this guy a superstar or is this guy a jobber? And I broke it down for him. Who was jobbers? What did jobbers mean? And what was a superstar? And at the end of the conversation, I think he understood. Matter of fact, he's intelligent. He's most intelligent than most of you guys out there. I know he understood. Because although I said it, I wrote it down. Two things, wrestling is storyline, and B, this is the show for the intelligent wrestling fan. So he understood what a jobber was. And he said, wow, so Luke Gallows is now a jobber, Dad? I said, damn, yeah, son, he's a jobber now. What can I say about it? Carl Anderson's a jobber now, and he should not be. Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, who's a friend of the program, who I've interviewed twice on BDSR Network, the best damn show on radio networks, over 9 years, close to 2,000 episodes. He's better than that. He was better than that in TNA. He was better than that in New Japan. He's better than that. But what the WWE do right now? They don't know what to do. Listen, so I'm going to go to the minds of the professionals. I'm not one. I am just a journalist. I know certain people, and I am privileged for certain information that over the years, for those who know me closely and my group know, I don't share that information because if I shared it, then I wouldn't be privileged to it. So I kind of talk with a sense of, I know it, and a sense of arrogance sometimes, but it's not meaning to come off the way. It's just that I know things that most of you guys out there do not know. And what I'm hearing is that they're gearing up towards for something big after WrestleMania for the Balor Club. Let's hope, right? That's all we can hope. So that opening match, which Gallows and Anderson did win, they better beat the Super Jobber Squad, which is the Miztourage. They won that match. They should have won that match. But here we go. Wasn't shocked, but kind of shocked Okay, yeah, a little shocked. My son knew it, and shout out to Dice Man. He knew it as soon as he saw the cage lower at the end of the kickoff show. As I watched my pay-per-views on Xbox Live with a group of people, so that way we could talk about it with my kids right there who entertain everyone. Shout out to my kids who just love wrestling and love what wrestling is. Okay, and that's the Women's Elimination Chamber match. And can I just say this, wife listening and all, and it's okay because I'm a man's man. Mandy Rose, y'all, if you're not a fan of Mandy Rose, then what the hell do you like about women? Because that girl, that woman is a beauty to look at. Now, in the wrestling ring, I'm not sure. Sonya Deville, and who we interviewed her when she first came out of Tough Enough over there on Wrestling Summit, which doesn't exist anymore because obvious reasons. There's people there that just wasn't ready to climb the mountaintop well enough, if you will, so to speak, to be a part of me. But moving on from that, but Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Mickie James, Mandy Rose, Sasha Banks, Sonya Deville, and I honestly thought that this match was good. I did, for what it was, for what we were given. Bliss wins, retains her women's championship going on to WrestleMania, which she should have done, right? I mean, she, coming over from Smackdown, being the first women's wrestler to hold both titles, coming over from Smackdown. Shout out to Hugo who's tuning in. My man Victor tuning in right now. And yeah, he says WWE, yeah, they buried Luke Gallows and Anderson. I'm not exactly sure. Michael Grant checking in from across the pond says he's playing catch up right now, but F it, I like to hear this anyway, so I'm going to give it to you raw and uncut like I do. My man, Mr. Swine checking in, my Uncle Richard checking in. Go Birds, Philly, what's going on? But watching this and seeing this Women's Elimination Chamber match, again, I was okay with the outcome. We should have known the outcome. If you didn't want that outcome, then what have you been watching in the women's division? Okay, they gave you that Bayley, who had a hell of a performance. Again, unlike the men, which we'll get to momentarily, who, in my opinion, outside of Elias, I thought anybody could have won that. I was okay. I didn't think everybody could have won the Women's Elimination Chamber match. I thought that it would have to be Alexa Bliss because we got what we thought was going to happen, and that's the two best friends. Okay, well, Sasha Banks finally turned on Bayley, which is supposed to happen, which we need to happen, because we need that rivalry rebuilt, repackaged, so to speak. Shout out to Seth Rollins, reclaimed. We need that rivalry back in female wrestling, in women's wrestling, excuse me. The question is, will we get that match at WrestleMania? Probably not. The card is a 5-hour card. I just cannot see them. We talked about this on Perfect Plex Talk Radio. Make sure you tune in to Perfect Plex Talk Radio if you have an iPhone, or please go to the podcast, download it, make a review. Hell, if you don't like it, make a review. You don't like it, listen anyway. It's the best damn show on radio. I'm just being honest with you. But we talked about that. Will they have enough women matches on the card? There's enough women in the company to be on the card. Will they give you more than 1 or 2 women's matches at WrestleMania? I personally don't see why you should not do. Now, one thing we do know before we go into this pay-per-view Elimination Chamber is that we do know that the brand pay-per-views are going to end. So as I was telling my son and my kids, what I think the best thing to happen would actually be you keep the Raw title, Universal title to itself. You keep the Intercontinental title to itself. That means being exclusive to Raw. You keep the WWE title and the US title exclusive to SmackDown. But you cross-brand the Women's Championship and you cross-brand the Tag Team Championship, because Charlotte is not getting any favors over there on SmackDown. Naomi's even getting lost in the sauce on SmackDown. Natalya must really be hurt because I haven't seen her a while. And as much as I like the way she talks, Becky Lynch can go. So I think she's getting held down over there on SmackDown. And then you have the Raw side. Well, to me, it's still a 3 women, 4 women, 5 women race, rather. 5 women race, because you have Asuka, Nia Jax, obviously Bayley, Sasha Banks, and of course the Women's Champion. So what I saw coming out of the Women's Elimination Chamber match, I thought was good. Okay, I thought the way that they chased Bayley and Sasha Banks was chasing my girl Alexa Bliss. My daughter loves her around the chamber. I thought it was funny. I thought it was entertaining. It's just a part of wrestling where wrestling fans have to understand everything isn't about the wrestling match itself. It's about the story that's being told in the wrestling match that has to go with it. It has to join hands to become, that wonderful blended story. And I thought they told a blissful story, pun intended, last night during that pay-per-view. I give the women's match, I give it about an A. Not an A+. I would give it, if I had to grade it on letter grade, because I would give you my belt grade at the end of the show, I'd give it an A. I thought it was a very wonderful, put together women's elimination chamber match. Then we had, soon to be, he hasn't been yet, worldwide Titus O'Neil, friend of the program, and Apollo, no longer Apollo Choose. We know why they took them away. If you didn't know, I'm going to tell you right now, so I'm going to slow down so you can catch up. The shooting and the devastation that happened in Parkland, Florida, and the guy's name was Cruz. Vince McMahon doesn't want anything to do with that last name, hence taking Apollo's last name from him. Is not him being stripped of anything. It's the fact that we can't have that name associated with anything in America right now. It brings a bad eye to the subject. So here goes Cesaro and Sheamus taking on Apollo and worldwide Titus O'Neil. And for a moment, it is still Black History Month. I wouldn't mind the Hot Shot Championship. I wouldn't, because they get the Wakanda forever. Give it to them. Black Panther's hot right now. Black History Month is hot right now. The tag team division in Raw isn't hot right now. So how do you make it hot? You can give Rhino and I need a Jobber tag team title. And why can you give Apollo and Titus worldwide? You can't just say Titus worldwide without saying that with it. The tag team titles. I think they should have had an opportunity to do that. And they didn't pull the trigger. The match was blah. But it was better than blah. I mean, it was blah, okay? I'll give it about a C- for a match. And it wasn't the fact that the wrestling wasn't good. It just didn't mesh well. That's all. Like sometimes we say, who's your best dance partner? I don't know who's the best dance partner right now. That was just not a really good dance for Cesaro and Sheamus. Though, you know, Apollo and Titus. And with all due respect towards Titus, worldwide, he's hasn't yet taken the next step in his wrestling ability, and that sometimes upsets me. Victor Gardner checks in, says, I love the Women's Elimination Chamber and Asuka versus Nia match, which I'm coming to right now, actually. Both were better than the men's, hands down. Well, were they? Okay, but I will say this. Asuka and Nia Jax tore the house down. I'm sorry for those fans who do tune in to other podcasts and radio shows, which I know you do. Why? I don't know, but you do. Nia Jax has been getting a lot of flack lately, a lot of hate lately from the wrestling community on she was fast tracked to the title or to WWE, and this whole thing. Listen, guys. No, I am not an indie wrestling fan, although I've known plenty of women and wrestlers that have come from the indies. The reason why I'm not an indie wrestling fan is, to me, over the last 15 years, indie wrestling has always tried to make itself ECW-ish too much to me. Instead of it finding its own niche, there's always going to be quirky things in whatever territory indie show you're a part of, and that's cool. But this whole thing about you got to make it on the indies first is a load of crap. Okay, no one's saying that about Kobe Bryant going to the NBA. Oh, he should have went to college first. No, he went straight to the pros because he deserved to go straight to the pros. LeBron did it. And we're talking about on Fox Sports Radio, so the Sports Tonight at 5 o'clock. Make sure you tune in. We're going to talk about the NCAA, but right now we're talking about wrestling. So if you have any questions about cats getting paid, which they should get paid, yes, they should get paid. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm doing 2 cameras here, one for YouTube, one here for Facebook for you guys here. So if you see my eyes go back and forth, that's why. Watching that Nia Jax and watching that Asuka match was amazing, people. They did. I gotta say this. They probably stole the show. Can we say match of the night was Nia and Asuka? Asuka's entrance, she's just starting to, she knows how to work a crowd. People say she can't talk, give her a microphone. They didn't like what happened last week with Renee Young. She doesn't need Renee Young. She doesn't need a mouthpiece, so to speak. She doesn't need a Paul Heyman, because her mannerisms and her in-ring ability goes a long way. And for those who I've seen who have said, oh, Nia should have won because I'm tired of these streaks going, that's pretty the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Why would you not want? I'm sorry, I can't even pause by saying that. I'm a grown-ass man. That's the dumbest shit I heard. Streaks is what makes wrestling. So were you tired of the Undertaker streak? Were you tired of Goldberg streak? If you're bad enough to be a bad enough badass to be on a streak, then you deserve a streak. Now, don't get me wrong. I was cheering for Nia. I thought Nia Jax should have won. I'd have loved to see Nia Jax win because I want to see a triple threat at WrestleMania. I think it still makes for a better story with we knowing now that Alexa Bliss won. So, with that also being said, you have storyline there. You have Asuka, who's undefeated. okay, who hasn't lost a match. You got Nia Jax, who is the real life best friend and sometimes on story best friend of Alexa Bliss. Why not put the three of them in a match? I still think you get that match at WrestleMania despite her losing yesterday. I don't think it's going to be a one-on-one match because if you saw the match, which I'm telling you about the match, if you didn't see the match, spoiler alert, okay, at the end of the match, Nia Jax attacks her, which I thought was absolutely wonderful. I love that match. That match to me, A+++++. If you've seen A Christmas Story, plus, that's what that match got there last night. Now, after that match last night, after Asuka and Nia Jax stole the show, after I'm sitting here wondering, wow, bathroom break, go get you some beer, go take a long deuce if you have to, Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt came on the screen. And I'm not afraid to say it because people out there, everybody wants to act like they've always been on top. Everybody wants to act like they've always cheered for something. My people will tell you, those who follow me on social media, if you have a Twitter, at Mike Knoxxx with 3 X's, you already know, like KO Mania 3 that's about to come, I am hardcore. I've never thought that Matt Hardy's gimmick would work in the WWE. The production is better. What made the gimmick work in TNA is that it's grungy. You know what I mean? It's borderline corny. And not saying him and the gimmick isn't good. That's not what I'm saying. I think Matt Hardy does a good job. And you know what I'm talking about. It's the transformation of wrestling fan and WWE Universe fan. And WWE Universe fan is overshadowing wrestling fans in the events. So when you hear the delete signs, it's very few and not enough, right? When you hear the weird laughing, it seems very awkward, which it shouldn't be, but it is very awkward when you hear that laugh that Matt Hardy has. But with all that negativity I just said about that match, I thought the match was pretty good. I did. It was a lot better than what they put on that Raw 25, which, hell, me riding a bike, butt naked, going streaking through the quad up through the gymnasium was better than Raw 25's match, right? So, hell, it had nowhere else to go but up. And trust me, it's better up than down. So, I gave that match about a C as well. But I don't care what you guys say. I have said for years, Hugo's listening, can investify to this. What's going on? Glenn Rolfe, one half of the Headbangers checking in. I've said this for years. I don't think men should wear women t-shirts. I did. I said it. Am I sexist for it? I'm sorry. I had a mother. I was raised by women. I got a wife and 2 daughters. I just don't think men should wear women t-shirts. With that being said, I want a Ronda Rousey shirt. The black one anyway, right? I don't want the white and red one. That's too much like Roddy Piper. But I want the black and red one. I gotta have it. I'm sorry. I gotta have a Ronda Rousey shirt. Because, don't laugh at me, Hugo. I did. I got to have a Ronda Rousey shirt. I want a Ronda Rousey shirt. I'm gonna buy. See, going to WrestleMania, I want to get my KO3 shirt. I'm going to get I'm a visor guy. Listen, I'm old, okay? I got hair coming. I'm trying to be like Killmonger. Just hide my forehead, right? So I got to get my visor. Got to get my shot glass. Buy myself one more belt. But I'm going to buy a Ronda Rousey t-shirt at WrestleMania. I will. If you're at WrestleMania, come have some bourbon with me on Bourbon Street. You already know how to find me. The guy with all that attention next song because he has all the belts. Hashtag Belt Kings. We got something big planned for New Orleans. Wait till y'all see it. But Ronda Rousey, to me, stole the show. And here's where I gotta disrespect those who disrespect Triple H. Hugo, since you're here, especially coming at you, okay? I don't see the negativity that you guys portray towards anything that has to do with Kurt Angle. Yes, I'm in the party with some friends, guys, but why is Kurt Angle shaking? That was odd. Okay, but that's Kurt Angle's acting that did that. I don't think they said shake. He thought he tried to grab the brass ring, which he doesn't need to do because he's Kurt freaking Angle, right? He's shaking and all that stuff, but it made the storyline. It also told you what Ronda is going to be Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey. It's that simple. Anybody tell me anything else, it's uncivilized. And go get some deodorant because you have no idea what you're talking about. What is they written on the wall, raw written, whatever you want to put it. It was written yesterday. Ronda Rousey, Kurt Angle will take on Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. I'm telling you right now, if you didn't know from last night, it's going to be the match. Why did he do it? He didn't bury Kurt Angle. They had to put Kurt Angle in this angle, pun intended, right? You had to put him in this storyline. You had to give Ronda Rousey, she said it and once, let me pause, quarter in the meter. Once Ronda Rousey gets comfortable on that microphone, y'all better look out. Y'all better look out. The slam she did to Triple H yesterday, he didn't jump. I watched it at least 15 times. She picked that dude up and slammed him through that table. And what was more impressive was the smack she took from Stephanie McMahon for, what did Five Finger say to the hand? Slap! She got slapped across her damn face. Her face was red, and she took it like a champ. Ronda Rousey will revolutionize the women's division. It has already been under a revolution. I'm sorry. I believe it. Ronda Rousey is gold. This is why I've asked for her to come into the WWE for the last year. Once I knew she was done with UFC. And if you haven't heard me say it on Soul and Sports, again, I ask you please go to iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast. Please like it, download it, write a review. I'm trying to get some sponsorship. I got a couple of sponsors finally on board now. This helps that sponsorship out. It's a cheap pop, but it's not, because I pay for it. Hugo pays for it. Everybody who's been associated with BDSR Network pays for it. You're not just doing this. If you don't like me, hey, that's fine. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm somebody's cup of coffee. So just go do it. How hard is it to write a review? Like it, dislike, I don't give a damn. Just write a review, okay? But back to the situation, Kurt Angle inserted himself into this. They built the story. He went against his boss. If he was so scared and so buried, then why did he go against his boss? He didn't. He got himself involved in the match the best way he could by saying, don't do this. This is a setup. That was good. Now, his contract's probably up soon. We knew Kurt wasn't going to be there forever, right? We knew he wasn't going to be there forever, so I'm fine with that. I don't think it buries anybody. And Triple H, by saying he was sick in the hospital with the flu, I'm saying I want to do it with that one, Hugo, because I know you put that, but I saw that from other people as well. That was what are you supposed to say? Oh, he's not feeling well. That's something you come up with on the fly. I'm trying to sign somebody, and you come up and say, oh, don't sign with them. I got to say, yo, he's sick in the head and something's not right. I thought that was good storytelling. To that segment, an A+. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And then it gives us to the end of the night. The problem that maybe some of you have had a problem with, because I had the hashtag going last night, I wish you guys would have joined in, Strowman, not Roman. But as I said before, anybody could have won this match, and I would have been okay with it, outside of Elias, because I think Elias is too young. I'm a huge fan of Elias. I got Elias t-shirt. I've been an Elias fan since NXT. I think, and I've said, which probably been picked up on the internet, because everything I say gets picked up on the internet, he is the lost child of Randy Macho Man, Randy Savage. He did an elbow drop yesterday. How dope was that? But I thought the men's Elimination Chamber match was okay. It was decent. I can't sit here and say it was great, because I would be lying to you, myself, and I don't particularly like to lie. I think liars are a piece of doo-doo. But Seth Rollins, great performance. Roman Reigns, great performance. Cena, sometimes they say actors and actresses mail it in for a movie. I thought Cena mailed in his performance yesterday, and I don't normally see that from John Cena. I normally from Cena, I see him performing hard. I see him wrestling hard. I see him going hard. Pause. But overall, Cena normally gives a great performance. Elias, great performance. Finn Balor, you know what? As I'm thinking about it more, I gotta go back and watch it, okay? Because at first watching it, it just seemed slow paced. But as I'm thinking about it, as I'm downloading, I downloaded it last night from went to bed, meaning mentally, I downloaded it into my brain. And as I'm unloading it on you guys right here this morning, thanks for joining me. It wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad at all. I mean, if you didn't like it, it's because you didn't like the outcome. And as much as we hate to admit it, because we hate dirt sheets, hashtag Death to Dirt Sheets, okay? Dave Meltzer, who we've gone with back and forth on Twitter, he don't want any part of Perfect Plex Talk Radio. And Dave Meltzer, I know you listen to what I got to say. Come on, that's why I say your name wrong every time, because, it's KO time. But we know it was going to be Roman, and Brock. Let's just hope, like with the Nia Jax and Asuka situation, where at the end of the match, Nia went on a warpath against Asuka. He did the same thing to Roman yesterday. It wasn't a simple win and walk off and celebrate and point to the sign because he was going to WrestleMania. And before the match, Roman gave you a promo that said, spoiler alert, I'm going to WrestleMania. So from there, honestly, I said, it's over. He wins. When he said that, I knew he was going to win. But if some way, somehow, they can insert Braun Strowman in this match, I think you need to do that. I think you need to do that for several reasons. I think you have to insert Braun Strowman because everything they've built with Roman Reigns, like him, don't like him, and different upon him. I thought they were building towards something good. He's going to get booed because it's the cool thing to do. I still have yet to find anybody that can tell me any really good reason why you don't like Roman Reigns. Is, oh, he doesn't talk on the microphone. Well, he sucks on the mic. Lies. He doesn't suck on the microphone. His matches are not good. Lies. Every match he's in feels like a big match feel. Roman Reigns is big match. He can't wrestle. He has only 5 wrestling moves. Okay, outside of a handful of wrestlers, meaning AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, which let's erase him from the category right now since he's been in WWE, Finn Balor, they all have 5 moves, if not a little bit more than that, okay? So I hate that part that he can't wrestle. Braun Strowman should be in the match because he's what we, the fans, want. Hell, I ordered another Braun Strowman shirt, okay? So I understand. I want Braun in the match as well. Braun versus Brock just seems really, really nice. Okay, but like I said, I could have really went with Cena winning. Why not have Cena win and send Brock Lesnar off, since you're going to replace one part-timer with another part-timer? But the difference between Brock Lesnar being a part-timer and John Cena being a part-timer, John Cena shows up more than Brock Lesnar does. Okay, and he breaks Ric Flair's record, which is eventually going to happen. Okay, I could see Seth Rollins winning and getting back into the mix but I knew after the hour match, the 2-hour gauntlet match on Raw, that he wasn't winning. I can every bit of see this. I talked about it last night when I was watching the pay-per-view, and I want to see it. Give me Seth versus Finn Balor again. I want to see that match. I need to see that match again. I wouldn't mind seeing, Monday Night Rollins take on Finn Balor. I think it'll be a great match at WrestleMania. Another match that we could talk about that may be able to steal the show. Everybody just already thinks it's Shinsuke and AJ steals the show. I think that AJ and Finn can compete for that mantle. So like I said, it brings us towards what now happens at WrestleMania. What do you do with Cena? What do you do with Elias? Is Elias going to win the Battle Royal? Rumors, hashtag the Death of Dirt Sheet says that they're going to bring Goldberg in to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So what do you do with these guys? It's 41 days before WrestleMania, and Miz has no match. Seth Rollins has no match. John Cena has no match. Braun Strowman has no match. Elias and Finn Balor. And these are the cream of the crop on Raw. They got to be putting something. Will Samoa Joe come back tonight and make something happen before WrestleMania, or is he out? A lot to be displayed. But as I said, I thought the match was slow-paced. Roman winning was fine with me. Like I said, anybody could win this match. I'd have been okay with it. I'm sure you're used to seeing someone, you love behind bars. I thought that line from Elias was great. Strowman, the way he went at The Miz and threw him through the plexiglass was great. Cena nailing The Miz, Rollins, both with the five knuckle shove at the same time was great. I don't care if you get tired of it or not. It's John Cena. Okay, my kids love him. Strowman, the 4-man power bonds, when they all power bond Braun Strowman and he kicked out. Come on. That was the pop of the night right there, people. A to this match. I'm going to give the overall night, okay, because I gave an A to the men's Elimination Chamber. I gave an A to the Elimination Chamber. I gave a to Ronda Rousey. Wow, I can't believe this. This pay-per-view clearly was a 4 out of 5 Kevin Owens never-ending United States title runs. I thought it was that good. I did it. I'm downloading it, watching it live. It didn't feel that way. It felt like, oh, this is okay. Not bad. But as I'm talking about it, unloading it after I downloaded it, I thought it was really, really good. I did. It's too high to you. Hey, tell me what you think in the comments. What would you give it? I give it a 4 out of 5. I think nothing's worse than that. I'm sorry. You can't. I'm asking questions here while we're still alive. We got about 2 minutes left before I get off air. What didn't you like about it? Tell me, what didn't you like about it? I like to know that. Comment. I'll respond back later on. If you watch this later on, I'm putting it on. It's going to be on YouTube as well. Comment there. Go to YouTube page /TheGameV1. That's my gamer tag for those who are gamers. THAGAME V1. Let me know what you think. I thought it felt that good. It was a 4 out of 5 United States Kevin Owens title match. It was good. It gave me promise. It gave me at least 2 matches for sure. I know it's going to happen at WrestleMania, which my ticket's already booked for WrestleMania. I'm cool with that. So, hey, at the end of the day, guys, thank you for tuning in to Around the Bloxxx with Mike Knoxxx. It's been fun. It's been honest. Hey, tonight, 5 o'clock, Soul and Sports, Fox Sports Radio. We talk about the NCAA violations. What you need, what you got, where you at. Listen, people, You don't love God? Then I'm sorry for you. Don't wake up tomorrow and say to yourself, I love me some me and don't love God. That's crazy, y'all. Wakanda forever. Yeah, I thought it was